Well, it was bound to happen, and it finally has. I've run out of pantry space. So here's what we're gonna do about it. Now, right now it looks like there's quite a bit of room on the pantry shelves, and that's because we are in the very beginning of spring, which means that our stored food is at its lowest quantity of the entire year. So right now, while we have the most jars off the shelf, it's time to think about expanding the pantry. Now, every year I try to grow a little bit more and preserve a little bit more and make sure our shelves are always filled with great food that we can have throughout winter or even beyond if we need it. But this last year, I ran out of space. Now, you can't see it right here, but I've got about 4 or 5 shelves of food stashed back into the corners of this basement space. They really aren't efficient. They're really not helping me out very much. They're just the wire shelving that we get from Costco or from anywhere like that. What I really wanted was more shelves like this. Now, Josh built these shelves for me years ago, and if you'll notice, each shelf is a different size. So all these top shelves can fit quart jars, pint jars, half pint jars, and these lower shelves down here start being able to fit the half-gallon jars. Down here we can fit gallon-sized jars, and then at the very bottom we can fit 5-gallon buckets. By having these different sizes of shelves, we can really be efficient with our space. I can fit a lot of food into a very small amount of space because I can have more shelves since we're not making them quite so big. So this has been a really great system, and we've used this, I think, over 10 years now. He must have made these for me about 10 years ago, but I need more than the 2 shelves that I have right here. So we are changing around this basement space. We're gonna put in a wall, and we're bringing in more shelves to go ahead and expand the space. Josh and I feel really blessed that we have such a nice space, but over the years and during our homesteading journey, we have had to get really creative with storing our food. We've stored food under beds, in back rooms, in closets, in attic spaces, in basement spaces, in every nook and cranny we can find. And when you have small amounts of space and you're a food preserver, then that's just kind of what you do. You just start stashing food wherever you can find it. Tiny houses are not good options for serious homesteaders who actually want to preserve their food because it does take storage space. So if you look at the old country kitchen designs and the old farmhouse designs, they usually had significant space for storing their foods, whether that was a root cellar or a large pantry or something like that. So if you are thinking about building a house for your homestead at any point, make sure you put in a lot of food storage space because you'll need it. To expand this space, we're actually going to be taking out this freezer and moving it to elsewhere in the basement. And then we're going to be adding a whole nother shelf right here in this space. This is just under the stairs here in the basement. And you can see this has never been finished. So it's pretty raw. It's kind of a mess. Up until just a week or 2 ago, we had stuff all in front of it and you couldn't even get here. We're going to be adding a wall here and closing the space in a little bit and then putting a whole nother shelf right here. Not only will that give us a whole lot more food storage, but it's also gonna make it really, really easy to store our empty jars, which if you're a canner or preserver, or you use your mason jars for fermented foods or for freeze-dried or dehydrated foods, you know that the storage of the empty jars is actually a challenge and something that you have to think about. Right now, we have them stashed in boxes. Eventually those boxes fall apart and they're really expensive to get replacements for. I'd like them out of boxes and just on a shelf, ready to go. So by adding this shelf space, we'll have a lot more room and we'll be able to be a lot more organized with our food. And that's making me really excited.
35 and 5/16.
So these are looking really good.
Yeah, they're nice.
I'm excited to have them down there. What are you doing?
They look
right
all
now,
nice, and we're gonna take them apart. They're too big.
They're too.
You asked for them too big.
They don't fit down the stairs?
They're not gonna fit down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
I thought the last one was the same size, which I had cut down from our original ones, and it's down there. And I honestly don't remember getting it down there. I think we were just moving in. So crazy, so busy. And so looking at it now, I see that I
had to cut it?
I knew I had to cut it down to make it fit in the basement.
Okay.
I didn't remember cutting it down and taking it in pieces, but apparently we took it down in pieces. So when Morgan built this one, I didn't even think to, I just figured we got the other ones down there. We'll get these down there. Well, any way you cut it, it's not going down like this, unless I actually cut it.
Unless you actually cut it.
Right. So we're gonna just take a shelf. We're gonna cut it, which the other one's the same. We're just gonna cut this portion off. Then we can take it down in 2 pieces. And we'll put it back together. So functionally, it'll be fine. There's gonna be a couple little places where we'll see it was cut.
Okay. We can live with that.
It'll be all right.
That'll be good.
Cool.
Do you have to cut all 3
pass
of them, or
muster,
just this one?
pass inspection.
I approve. Yes.
Good. Good.
Do you have to do all 3 of them?
I don't believe so. No, these are only 4 foot wide, so we should be able to get those down the stairs. I got to measure and check, but I believe we can get those down. So what we're gonna do is probably roll it. Let's just see. Well, we gotta go one way we can get a grip. It's still pretty darn heavy. Okay. I don't know. You have to go over the stove. Just slide it on the floor. This is where we try not to do drama. All right. You got to lower a little bit. There you go. Nice. Yeah. Okay. How was the light one? A little nerve-wracking on my end. It's got to come. Yep. Let's just go down here. We'll pivot it on the ground. All right. Yep. There we go. Right. Coming. Oop, hold on. Ta-da!
Oh, wow. That is so exciting.
Double the storage.
Wow.
Just doubled up.
That is a lot more space. Oh my goodness. That's going to help so much.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's really neat. We're going to be able to organize everything so much better here because we won't be so tight on the space.
Yay.
Yay.
Happy?
Thank you. Very happy. That's great.
All right.
Good job. All right, everybody. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
That's a lot of heavy lifting.
Team effort. That's a lot to get down here, and they're here permanently.
They're
not coming back out.
They're never leaving.
And they're not getting moved around.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's exciting. All right. Gotta get to work. this is a perfect time for these shelves because we're just getting into our preserving season. The garden's growing, there's a lot of harvest starting to come in, and so we're already preserving asparagus and different things like that, and greens. And so I really need this extra space. The one thing that I absolutely love about this is that with these graduated shelves, it really maximizes your storage when you have a small square footage, or when you have, decent space like this basement space, but you really want to be able to put a lot into that small space. So if you're thinking about revamping a pantry, redoing a pantry, expanding a pantry, or even just turning your kitchen cabinets into a pantry, think about doing something with these graduated spaces so that you can fit more of your jars and more of your buckets, and even the food that you're bringing in from the store, like canned goods. You'll be able to fit more into a small amount of space because you can have more shelves. If you have a pantry and you're ready to get it organized, check out this video that I have for you right here.